era where royalty reigns supreme. In their grand mansion, an extravagant party is in full swing, guests adorned in the finest of costumes indulge in luxurious food and wine. Suddenly, a lady in an exceptionally elegant dress enters in hall with commanding authority. As she samples the food, her face twists in anger. Her voice cuts through all the music and chatters of guests, as she demands the chef be brought to her at once. Guests startled by her outburst. When no one responds, she repeats the command, louder this time. The hall quiets completely. Guests exchange uneasy glances. They all know her. She is Alicia Ozrind, the Lady Forced. Whispers ripple through the room about her infamous temper. One claims she has dismissed countless servants without any reason. Another mutters, her heart is colder than a demon king's. The chef, sweating trembling, approaches her like a man walking to his doom. He bows clutching his apron, and take responsibility of the evening's menu. Alicia sharp glaze into him and question what he was thinking serving her food of this standard, and warn him to prepare for the consequences. In terror, he falls to his knees, pleading for mercy. The guests watch in stunned silence. None dares to question her directly, though whispers spread. The food is actually delicious. She just wants to torment her servants. Without another word to the chef, Alicia turns on her heel and storms out, her footsteps echoing through the hall. Then, a confident young man steps forward. "I'm Gary, Lady Alicia's attendant," he announces. He says he will acknowledge Alicia's behavior and explain the truth behind her actions. Alicia tries to stop him, but he silences her effortlessly with a gesture. Gary speaks calmly. Lady Alicia is not criticizing the food at all. The guests protest. How dare an attendant twist her words? But Gary continues, undeterred. Her harshness is actually her way of expressing gratitude. The room falls into stunned silence. He continues, revealing that her comment to the chef, "Prepare for the outcome," was not a threat but an invitation. She wanted him to serve her personally. What had seemed like scorn was, in truth, an opportunity. Disbelief shifts into curiosity as the guests absorb his words. Alicia remains silent, her expression unreadable. One guest challenges Gray, scoffing at the idea that they're supposed to believe such a ridiculous claim. But Gray simply points to the table. It's empty. Every table has a meal meant for 5, but this one has been completely devoured. And Alicia has no companions. The only conclusion, she ate it all herself. The skeptic falls silent, stunned by the truth. Seizing the moment, Gray declares with triumph, Lady Alicia has finished an entire feast on her own, proof of how much she loved it. The chef, still trembling, now looks up in shock. His voice wavers as he asks whether Alicia has ever been dissatisfied with his cooking. Gray reassures him, then asks, this time with authority, if he will serve the Ozen family. Before the chef can reply, Alicia places a firm hand on Gray's shoulder, startling him. Without a word, she drags him away, to the crowd's amusement. Even as she pulls him along, Gray continues talking, explaining the job to the chef. Now beaming with pride, the chef calls after Alicia, asking if she has anything to say. He's overjoyed and honored that she enjoyed his food. Alicia, visibly annoyed, mutters a begrudging, thanks, but Gray's words linger in her mind. After a pause, she calls out, announcing it's time to leave. Then, with clear irritation, she reminds him just how bold it was to embarrass her in front of everyone. Gray, as always, plays innocent. Deep down, Alicia feels a flicker of gratitude. She'll never admit it, but she doesn't want him to leave her side. This is the story of a cold-hearted noble and her loyal attendant. Gray's memories drift back to his childhood, a time marked by hardship and quiet desperation. He grew up without a mother, raised by an alcoholic father, and shared the struggle with his older sister. Every day was a battle just to find food. Despite it all, his spirited sister kept their spirits alive. She'd tease him in an exaggerated noblewoman's voice, claiming that one day a wealthy noble would fall for her, and she'd marry into luxury. Eyes wide with hope, Gray would ask, does that mean we'll escape this life? Laughing, his sister says, with your plain face maybe you'll become a knight or charm a noble lady as a servant. The idea thrilled him, but she always brought him back to earth. Being a knight takes more than dreams, she'd say. You need strength, and more importantly, you need to understand a lady's heart. Lifting a finger with mock elegance, she'd advise, never lie to a lady. Be honest, wear a fresh smile. Do that, and no noblewoman will ever resist you. Gray adored her. He always thanked her, always said he loved her. She'd scoff at his affection, but deep down, she treasured it, vowing to turn him into a fine little brother. Now, years later, Gray looks back with a bitter smile. Her dreams were just fantasies. fantasies. She left long ago, and he remained stuck with their drunkard father. When he returns home, nothing has changed. His father is sprawled on the floor, drunk and vacant. Gray confronts him. Where did you get the money? His father smirks, revealing he found Gray's hidden savings beneath the floorboards. Shock floods Gray. The man laughs, bragging that he used the money to settle his debts. Gray's voice trembles with rage. That was for the Knight Academy. His father shrugs. Forget that nonsense. Save again, for your father's sake. Something inside Gray snaps. Before he can stop himself, his fist slams into his father's face. The man crashes to the ground. Gray says nothing. He turns and walks out the door, realizing too late. He wanders the streets, hoping to find a job and start over. Then something catches his eye. A notice posted outside a shop. Help wanted, cleaning staff for the Ozen villa. Good pay. Meals and room provided. Motivated, Gray heads straight to the Ozen family's villa office. He's brought before Chief Butler Maya Lorik. Sitting nervously across from her, he shares bits of his rough past. She listens quietly, then comments, "You're quite open. You didn't need to say all that." She narrows her eyes and asks, "Do you think your background makes you more deserving? Or are you just looking for sympathy?" Gray shakes his head. "No, it's not that. I'm just not good at hiding things." Maya thinks for a moment, then asks if he's okay working under her. He pauses, then nods. Yes. Suddenly, she leans in, just inches from his face. "Any problem working under a woman?" Gray stammers, caught off guard. I mean, if my boss is this pretty, I might end up working too hard." A second of silence. Realizing how it sounded, he braces himself for scolding. But Maya laughs softly. "You're honest. I'll give you a shot." She explains the villa doesn't care much for background, just effort. There's a labor shortage anyway. Staff don't tend to last long. Gray feels a flicker of hope, but Maya stops him. "Don't get too confident." She warns him about the real challenge ahead. Lady Alicia Ozrind, daughter of Lord Dillon, head of the Ozen Duchy. She's not easy to deal with. Watch yourself. Gray hesitates, then shrugs off the warning. "I'll manage." As he walks out, Maya watches him go. "Hope you last longer than the others," she murmurs. That night, Gray gets ready for work. For the first time in his life, he puts on clean clothes. The uniform fits. The fabric isn't worn out. He runs a hand across the collar, almost in disbelief. "It's real," he mutters. A new start at last. He was used to a life of hardship, but just for a moment, as he passed a polished window, he stopped to admire his reflection. Wearing the crisp uniform, he felt almost like a nobleman. That is, until someone walked past and quipped, "Never seen a newbie this proud of a uniform." Gray turned, curious. "And you are?" The man grinned. "Name's Mori. I'll be showing you around." He held out a hand. Gray shook it politely. "Thanks, I'm Gray. Looking forward to learning from you." Mori nodded. "Let's start with the basics." He grabbed a cloth and began wiping a nearby window. "Clean in even strokes. Make sure to get the corners, no streaks." Gray followed carefully, mimicking his movements. Mori watched for a moment and smirked. "Ha, I might end up learning from you." Gray smiled and replied, "I've done cleaning work before. Funny how the stuff that used to wear me down is useful now." A few steps away, two maids were whispering. One scoffed, "Working at a duke's place isn't hard. Barely need training." The other, clearly newer, whispered back, "Still, there must be some tricks to it." Then their chat shifted to boyfriends, sparking a round of giggles. Maury sighed and muttered to Gray, "Plenty here waste time chatting." Gray glanced around. "Then how's the place always spotless?" Maury leaned in, lowering his voice. "Wanna know the secret?" But before he could finish, a sharp voice cut through the air. "Why are you just standing there?" It was a young woman, elegant, commanding. Lady Alicia Ozrind. Startled, one maid knocked over a vase. Crash. It shattered across the marble floor. Gray stepped forward. "Are you okay?" Then looked up at Alicia, momentarily stunned by her presence. The maids stammered apologies, but Alicia frowned. "Then go." They hesitated. She narrowed her eyes. "Do you have a problem?" They bolted. Without another word, Alicia turned to Gray and Maury. "Clean this up," then walked off, her heels clicking behind her. Gray clarified that Alicia didn't scold them for the vase, even though it was valuable. He suspected she noticed one of the maids was hurt and wanted her to get treatment. Maury was skeptical, doubting Alicia's kindness. He found Gray's view unusual, as most saw Alicia as harsh. Gray just shrugged, saying she reminded him of his sister. Maury, confused, asked what kind of sister acts like that. Gray didn't answer and focused on cleaning. As Alicia walked away, she heard workers gossiping about her. They called her difficult and claimed no one liked her. Before she could react, Gray suddenly appeared, calling her name. Startled, she flinched and ran away. Gray watched her go, noticing an ointment on the ground, which he picked up. Later, while cleaning outside, Gray asked if Lady Alicia took all her lessons at the mansion. Mori explained that she had been suspended from the academy and banned from noble gatherings for making other girls cry. Her father was now seeking a husband for her, but all potential fiancés had run away. Rumors said escaping Alicia brought good luck. Gray found this sad and questioned how all the men found new fiancés so quickly. Mori teased him, suggesting Gray was smitten with Alicia. Laughing, he warned that romance between a servant and a noble was impossible. Before Gray could respond, Mori froze. Alicia was standing right behind them. He panicked and fled, leaving Gray alone with her. He nervously greeted her, commenting on the fine weather. Alicia studied him before recalling his name. Pleased, he realized she remembered. With a smug tone, she stated that despite being a commoner, she remembers her servants' names. Gray, impressed, responded with admiration, saying it was natural for someone as sensible as her. Alicia raised an eyebrow, surprised by his reaction. She asked why he kept smiling. Gray apologized, but she insisted on an answer. Gray confidently replied that he smiled because she was beautiful. Alicia blushed, caught off guard, and stammered, asking why he thought that. Gray explained that if she truly saw them as commoners, she wouldn't bother remembering their names. She listened closely as he told her she was beautiful inside and out, making it a blessing to serve her. Alicia, now looking like a tomato, struggled to find the right words. After regaining her composure, she praised Gray for his positive outlook. In a hushed tone, she confessed that no one had ever complimented her like that before. Gray heard her, but she quickly denied saying anything. Flustered, Alicia told him to quit goofing around and focus on work. Gray snapped to attention, responding with immediate obedience. As she walked away, she acknowledged that the mansion had been cleaner since Gray arrived, and encouraged him to keep it up. Gray watched her leave with a small smile. That night, in her room, Alicia clutched a plush toy and talked to it. Pretending it asked why she was so happy, she insisted she wasn't. But she admitted Gray had smiled at her today. She played along with her toy, wondering if he liked her. Flustered, she hugged it tightly and told it to stop talking, secretly hoping to see Gray again tomorrow. Meanwhile, Gray headed home, reflecting on the day. He hoped to see Lady Alicia again. Whether his kindness would make Alicia obsessed with him remained to be seen.